I'm Noah, overseeing the family-owned public bathhouse passed down from my grandfather. Together with my wife Emma, we experienced a pivotal moment with a child. On an early spring evening, still carrying a lingering chill, past 9 o'clock after our last customer had left, Emma and I were wrapping up the day's work at the bathhouse. While Emma attended to the interior cleaning, I headed towards the entrance. As I approached the garbage disposal area a little distance away, I noticed a small figure. Under the streetlight's glow, I discerned a disheveled girl sorting through the trash. Intrigued, I wondered if she was searching for something. Given the late hour, I decided to approach her. Summoning Emma, we both walked towards the girl by the garbage disposal. Upon closer inspection, despite the chilly weather requiring a jacket, the girl wore only thin long sleeves, a skirt, and sneakers that were too big, causing her to crush the heels. Her appearance shocked us both. Addressing the girl cautiously, I asked, "Miss, what are you looking for at this late hour?" Startled, the girl turned towards us. Her shoulder-length hair, frizzy like a child's, and overgrown bangs hiding her eyes, gave her a neglected appearance. She replied, "I'm hungry." To avoid frightening her, I spoke gently, suggesting she come to our place. I'd offered to call her parents, but when asked for her home phone number, she shook her head vigorously. Understanding her fear of strangers, I proposed waiting together until we could contact someone from her home. Assuming she had mistaken us for strangers due to the late hour, I was surprised when she revealed, "My mom hasn't come back for about 3 days. I'm waiting for her to return, but I'm hungry." Alarmed by the possibility of abuse or neglect, I suggested involving the police. However, the mention of the police made her instantly wary, expressing dislike for them. Concerned, we continued the conversation, only to hear a gurgling sound from her stomach. At that moment, Emma asked, "How long has it been since you've eaten? Are you hungry?" I scanned for any available food, realizing I hadn't eaten since morning. Neither my wife nor I knew how to respond to the girl's revelation. She hadn't eaten all day, searching through the trash in the late hours while clad in thin clothing. The grim reality of her situation weighed heavily on us. In a surprising turn, my wife suggested, "Would you like to come to our home?" Her words startled me. Taking a stranger's child home without involving the police could lead to complications later. I glanced at my wife, wondering if she grasped the potential risks. She met my gaze and said, "I understand what you're thinking. As adults, it's the right thing to involve the police. However, I can't ignore a shivering and hungry child standing right in front of me." Her perspective resonated with me, and I made a decision. We could take the reluctant girl to the police tomorrow. But for now, the immediate concern was providing a warm place and satisfying her hunger. With a reassuring smile, I extended my hand to the hesitant girl, saying, "It's okay. Come to our place." After a moment of hesitation, the girl reached out and took my hand. My wife took the girl's other hand, and the three of us, hand in hand, headed back to the bathhouse. Upon our return, we learned the girl's name was Mia. While my wife took Mia into the bath, I prepared some clothes. Mia's current attire was dirty and too cold-looking, so I selected suitable replacements from my wife's wardrobe: a pair of drawstring pants, a shirt, and a jacket. The drawstrings on the pants would secure them in place. Swiftly, I rushed to the convenience store to purchase small women's underwear, ensuring Mia had everything she needed. I also grabbed the toothbrush before finishing my preparations. By the time I was done, my wife and Mia emerged from their bath. The clothes and underwear appeared a bit oversized, but Mia managed to put them on. The once pale-faced girl now looked more like a child, her complexion returning after the bath. Her washed and dried hair was smoother, though her bangs were too long. My wife secured them with a pin, revealing the lovely face hidden beneath. I asked, "Did you warm up?" Mia nodded eagerly, expressing excitement. She shared her experience of the bath, likening it to a big pool and expressing her delight at the warmth. Her smiling demeanor reassured me. While I dried Mia's hair, my wife prepared a meal. The bathhouse and our house were adjacent, so once we finished, we moved next door. My wife served a warm pot filled with vegetables, meatballs, and yudo noodles. The sight of the dish made Maya's eyes sparkle. "Can I really eat this?" she asked. My wife chuckled and encouraged her to have seconds. Maya proceeded to eat heartily, using a fork and spoon as she wasn't accustomed to chopsticks. "This is delicious. It's been a while since I ate warm food," Maya remarked, reflecting on the environment she had endured until now. My chest swelled with a mix of emotions, feeling like it was about to burst. Maya seemed to be opening up and trusting us a little. Once her stomach was filled, she began sharing her story. She spoke about her rarely seen mother, her routine of rummaging through garbage for food, and her status as a 7-year-old in first grade. Mia didn't have a school bag, and her shoes and clothes were often dirty. The heartbreaking reason behind her absence from school surfaced. She was bullied for being perceived as smelly. As a couple, Mia's narrative struck us profoundly. "I like it here. I want to sleep here." "Are you going to call the police?" she asked. Without hesitation, my wife and I wanted Mia to experience at least one night of warmth and rest. Reassuring her, I said, "It's okay. Let's sleep together on a fluffy bed tonight. But could you go to the police with us tomorrow?" "Don't worry, they are kind. Your mom might be worried too." Mia, who had been silent for a while, rubbed her sleepy eyes and expressed, "I hope so. I hope she is worried, Mom." I wanted to comfort her, but I couldn't easily speak positively about a mother who had likely abandoned her child. Temporary comfort might hurt her later. In the room, I prepared the bedding, and Mia happily got into the bed. It was her first time sleeping in such a fluffy bed, and she marveled at its warmth. Concerned about her being cold, she mentioned, "I hope she is not cold. It will be nice if she could sleep in a warm bed too." Silently shedding tears, my wife and I were moved by her brave concern for a mother who left her without food. I struggled to hide my emotions from Mia, who was already drifting into sleep. The next day, my wife and I accompanied Mia to the police box. I couldn't forget the slightly lonely look on her face as we said our goodbyes. Saying goodbye to Mia and her mother was a bittersweet moment. Despite the lump in my throat, I managed to offer a smile. "Yeah, hopefully we'll see each other again someday. The police will take good care of you from here, so you have nothing to worry about," I reassured Mia, who nodded in understanding. As we departed from the police box, my wife hugged Mia tightly, waving at us with a smile. Maya left an indelible mark on our hearts. Though we had grown close to her in just one night, bidding farewell was a painful experience. On the journey home, my wife expressed deep concern about Mia's future. We were a childless couple who had once dreamed of having 3 kids. However, fertility issues, specifically ovulation problems, plagued us. Despite a decade of infertility treatments, we remained childless. We decided to cherish our time as a couple, having tired of the emotional roller coaster associated with conceiving. Our focus shifted, and we lived a quiet life together. Our own struggles made us particularly sensitive to the suffering of children at the hands of neglectful parents. Unable to shake our worries about Mia, we contacted the police box where we had left her. They informed us that Mia's mother had not returned, and Mia was headed to a children's home. Due to our role in finding her, we learned the name of the facility. Promptly, my wife and I visited Mia at the children's home, discovering a multitude of children separated from their parents for various reasons. Mia, upon seeing us, immediately embraced my wife, expressing, "Aren't you and your wife going to stay with me? They said my mom might not come back." Stunned by her words, we covered up her straightforward question with a forced smile. Despite the emotional bond formed in that short time, the reality was clear. We couldn't live with Mia. After all, we were strangers. But when we spoke to the children's home staff, the story took an unexpected turn. Upon leaving, we were introduced to the concepts of foster care and adoption. Sensing a pivotal moment, I glanced at my wife, who met my gaze with earnest eyes and nodded in agreement. That marked the moment we decided to explore these avenues. Learning about foster care and adoption that day prompted us to sign the necessary documents. For children like Mia, who had recently arrived at the children's home, Obtaining permission from the family court was deemed necessary for adoption or foster care procedures. Fortunately, that permission was granted without any complications at a later date. Following this, we actively engaged in training and seminars to become adoptive parents, leading to busy days. During this period, we occasionally visited Mia, gradually building a connection with her. During one visit, we mustered the courage to ask Mia, "How would you feel if we said we want to live together as a family in place of your mom?" Her response was heartwarming. "I'd be so happy," Maya answered with a beaming smile. It was a moment that fueled our determination. While a traditional mother experiences the blessing of nurturing a child in her womb, we lacked that natural process. To become Mia's parents and witness more of her joy, we set a goal and combined our efforts to overcome the challenges of busy days. However, a day of unexpected turmoil arrived. We received a call from the children's home staff, urgently inquiring about Mia's whereabouts. It turned out she had slipped out of the facility. Both my wife and I rushed to search for her. The distance between the children's home and the apartment where Mia used to live, now our home, added to our anxiety. Fearing the worst scenarios, we received a message that Mia had been found by the police. Hurriedly, we went to see Mia upon her return to the children's home. As we arrived, Mia's tear-streaked face told a story of her recent experience. "I want to go to where you guys are. I want to eat meals together again and take a bath like in a swimming pool." Mia expressed, her words filled with longing. My wife and I were rendered speechless, embracing her tiny body tightly. This incident served as a catalyst, intensifying our desire to become a family with Mia. As time passed and Maya regained her composure, we made her promise not to leave the children's home alone, due to our concerns. We reiterated our intention to take Mia into our care to the staff. Subsequently, the procedures took more than half a year to complete. Finally, as a couple who had undergone special adoption, we were able to bring Mia home. Fast forward 4 years, and my wife, Mia, and I were living joyfully. Mia was no longer cold or hungry. Each day, she cheerfully went to school with a neat school bag on her back. However, shortly before Mia's birthday, a letter arrived from her biological mother, expressing a desire to meet Mia on her birthday. Without hesitation, Mia agreed to the meeting. Though we felt uneasy as parents, Mia was already in 6th grade, an age where she could make decisions for herself. We respected her choice. On the day of the reunion, Mia went alone to the designated cafe. Anxiously waiting for her return, she came home after about 2 hours, her demeanor unchanged. According to Mia, her biological mother had remarried and seemed genuinely happy. Maya felt relieved to see her mother happy and expressed her love and understanding, despite being left behind. Seeing Maya's determination, we felt proud and relieved that we could continue living with her. The 3 of us decided to celebrate Mia's birthday by buying a cake together. Holding hands, Maya looked a bit embarrassed but complied. Reflecting on the journey from the day we found Mia rummaging through the garbage to our walks hand in hand to the public bath, we realized how much she had grown. Maya would continue to grow, but she would always be our precious daughter. As I etched this happy moment into my heart, I knew that we would continue to walk together as a family of 3, cherishing each step of the journey